pathway becomes, right? And so when kids have an image pop back up in their mind and they focus on that image, that neural connection gets stronger. If you can teach them to focus on something else, that neural connection will fade and it will get less strong. And only if they think about it and try to recall the picture will it come up. It will stop popping up in their mind. So that's the distraction. That's a cognitive skill that kids need to learn in the digital age to help them reject pornography. And then finally is O, order your thinking brain to be the boss. Help them understand the difference between the feeling brain and the thinking brain and the power of the thinking brain. And we like to teach kids, and this is in our book as well, to say, hey, feeling brain, I know you're curious to see those bad pictures because this is completely normal for kids. And I want to just really emphasize that good kids get pulled into pornography. They're not bad kids. They're normal. It is hijacking their biology. And so it's important to not shame them, but just to give them these strategies. So order my thinking brain to be the boss. Say, feeling brain, I know you're curious to see those bad pictures, but I'm going to use my thinking brain to keep myself free from addiction and to reject pornography. And that little conversation is actually very powerful, and it's something that people use in recovery as well, to split the two brains and to recognize that one is curious or one is triggered, but you have a choice with your thinking brain to make a different choice and to turn away from it.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the things that you mentioned there with the can-do plan is exactly what, along different situations, but along the same lines of what we teach the men and singles and, to deal with is when they're coming across something that's part of the plan. And we really instruct them about the brain because the brain is where the power is and they need to take back that power. So that's just wonderful. And awesome. I know you mentioned the Can-Do plan is on your website, which is protectyoungminds.org. Is that correct?
Yeah, protectyoungminds.org. And they can go to our blog, and there's a subscribe button. And when you subscribe, you'll be sent the Can-Do plan, a PDF. So you can print it out and use it. And hopefully you'll also use it with our book, Good Pictures, Bad Pictures, that will really expand the child's understanding of the brain and the power to reject those kinds of images. So we're really excited to be able to share this with your audience and to empower children. They deserve it, right? They need it, and every child needs to be warned and deserves to be warned about the dangers of pornography and deserves to be given the tools to fight it.
I agree. And one thing I wanted to mention as I was perusing through protectyoungminds.org, I noticed you have an ambassador program that parents and or non-parents also, you need all the help that you can get to get the word out. People can actually join and receive an ambassador kit. Is there a charge for that? And where is the ambassador kit located on your website?
So it's under Share and Speak Out. So you can go, and basically right now we're just starting this ambassador program. So right now we just simply have an outline. That's the major portion of the kit. We have an outline, and if you would like to give, for example, a presentation in your own community or in your own church, we have an outline that will help you develop that kind of a presentation because, of course, we can't be everywhere. But the other way people can become ambassadors is simply to go to our Protect Young Minds Facebook page and to like it. That will help. Again, to subscribe to our blog. We just had, we opened applications for our ambassador program, and we got an overwhelming response. So now what we're trying to do is process those applications and organize that so that people can help us in very organized and specific ways. And so we're not quite ready to open it up again, but if people will subscribe to our blog, we will send out the next time, probably in a few months, we will send out a questionnaire, and people can respond to that, and they can be one of our ambassadors. The other thing they can do is share our content on social media, or if you love Pinterest, you can repin our blog posts. You can set up a board like digital parenting or online safety, and you can pin content from our blog directly to your board. That would be very helpful. So there is really a lot people can do to help us spread the word, and we are so grateful. We could not do this alone, and we are just so thankful for concerned parents who are willing to help us get the word out to other parents and other leaders and pastors and churches. And we're very, very thankful for that.
Oh, I think that's just fabulous. I'm so glad that you've done that. And I will have your website, protectyoungminds.org, on my Facebook page, which is Unashamed by Grace. And Kristen, before we close, I would like the listeners to know where they can purchase your book, because from what I've heard, your Good Pictures, Bad Pictures is actually a #1 bestseller on Amazon. Is that true?
Yeah, we've been a #1 bestseller in our category for 2.5 years since we started out. It's often #1 in other categories as well. So we're very grateful for that. And another way people can help us, if you get our book, we'd love you to give us a review on Amazon. And that's where we mostly sell the book, is Amazon. We have our own store now there. So if you go to Amazon and you purchase it from Glen Cove Press, which is our little, publishing company, then you can help our cause even more. But buy it from anywhere. We don't care. Just get it for your kids. It's a very powerful investment in their childhood. But you know what, Joanne? I think we forgot to talk a little bit about the testimony that I gave to the Washington State Senate Committee of Law and Justice.
Yes, if you have time, I would love for you to do that.
Yeah. Well, basically, there is a senator who is in charge of the Law and Justice Committee, and he realized that the Republican platform included the assertion that pornography has become a public health crisis, or a public health threat. So I was contacted by the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. They're centered in Washington, D.C., and I'm on their prevention task force. And they asked me to go and testify. So I went and basically testified in front of a panel of senators, talking to them about how pornography has become a public health crisis, how it is hurting people, how it is becoming an addiction, how it is increasing child-on-child sexual abuse, because children will see it and they will imitate it, because children are wired to imitate. Like I talked about in the beginning about the sibling child abuse. And so child-on-child abuse is skyrocketing. Many experts all over the world feel like it is because of pornography and children's access to it. And so that's a big issue that we need to talk about more in our country. It is being talked about in the UK. It is being talked about and studied in Australia and in other countries. We need to talk about it here in the United States. So it's very, so I went on and talked about the various ways that pornography is harming men. It's causing sexual dysfunction, and it's ruining marriages. It's linked to sex trafficking, which no one agrees with. So we need to take a look and see the real harms of pornography. It's not just simple adult entertainment. It is harming our society and in so many ways. And I was really, really happy to be able to testify to those senators and tell them what I knew about its harms. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if they were just kind of laying the foundation. The state of Utah, they
I know they're more active. They're more proactive from what I've seen.
Well, they were able to pass some legislation a resolution basically that just acknowledged really that pornography has become a health crisis. So that is great. It lays a foundation that they can do more studies. They can get more educational programs out there. So anyway, other states are looking to follow that example, and I really hope that someday every state will acknowledge this. Because, think about cigarettes and smoking and tobacco. It took 40 years before we, really said, hey, this is harmful. And even in the 1970s, there were Harvard-trained medical doctors that were saying, oh, no, tobacco isn't harmful, it does not cause cancer. And yet, of course, we know it does. So I think pornography is going to be the same thing. We just have to keep pushing, keep educating, and linking the dots between all the harms of pornography. Yes. So that's what we're trying to do, but I'm really on the prevention end of it. I really, you're on the treatment end of it, and bless your heart for doing that hard work. I would like to put you out of business in that regard. Wouldn't it be wonderful if all kids could grow up and be, have this prevention information and be protected and never get into porn addiction? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
It would, and
that's what I'm working for.
A couple shows ago, I talked about that in length as far as how the tobacco industry and the car industry, they target children, and that's what pornography industry is doing as well. They're targeting 12 to 17-year-olds typically as their biggest audience because they know if they can get them hooked, they have a customer for life. And so that's why like I had mentioned earlier, we originally started working with men and their spouses, but it's kind of morphed into educating parents because we get so many requests for help. And it's not that parents are intentionally, not protecting their children. They just don't know how. And so that's why I was so glad you were able to come on the show today because you're such an expert in this field. You've been working in it a long time. You have a lot of resources for parents on your protectyoungminds.org, your Facebook page, which is your Christian A. Jenson author, I believe.
That's my author page, but really I would recommend people go to the Protect Young Minds Facebook page. That has a lot of information, and I mean, you can go to my author page too, obviously.
Yeah, we don't want to discourage people not to do that.
That's more my personal author page, but really for my cause, it's my Protect Young Minds page, and we keep a lot of really great information posted there. And so I just think parents that overcome their fear, because fear never helps. It's not productive. And if you can overcome your fear and just take a step forward and be proactive, you can change. You can help your children navigate a difficult world even better. So a big shout out to all parents out there. I know it's a difficult job they have, and I just hope that I can make it a little easier. One more thing, Joanne.
Yes.
The Protect Young Minds Junior, like I said, will be out. If they go to Good Pictures, so you can go to Amazon. You can also go to goodpicturesbadpictures.com to get our book. And if you go to goodpicturesbadpictures.com/junior or JR, you can sign up to be notified when our junior version is out. And by the way, we just got an endorsement for this book by Josh McDowell. So we've got many people endorsing it and just excited for it to come out. So
I can imagine.
Go and sign up to be notified. And I hope you can put a link to that on your page as well.
I will do that today. And I've also been, like I mentioned, I've been promoting you on our Facebook page as well, because I want as many people as possible to hear this. It's good information.